What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Unsolicited podcast with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam, joined alongside who else? Jordyn. How are you
Jordyn,
doing
hello. We have so much to get into today, but there's a story that I have been waiting all week to hear from Sam. She just did her engagement photo shoot. And she said, she was like, I have a story to tell you that's going to wait for the podcast. So I want to jump right into that because I have been eagerly waiting this story.
We will get into that. Before we do, I'll just drop our socials down below and our YouTube channel. So make sure to check us out there. And yeah, I literally had one of the worst days of my life on Thursday. No, that's dramatic. It wasn't the worst day of my life.
You looked stunning. The dress was perfect.
Thank you. Oh, I should also just say the fact that I'm wearing green and Jordyn is wearing pink right now was not planned.
No. We're just like natural born marketers for this podcast.
It's aesthetically pleasing, but it was not planned. Anyway, yeah, I had a green dress on, like something similar to this color green. So basically, our pictures were in Central Park, which is way uptown in Manhattan. I live on Staten Island. It takes me a little bit of time to get into Manhattan, depending on traffic, which traffic was absolutely ridiculous. I've never in my life.
What time were you going?
So I had to be there by 6:15. I had to be like in the park by 6:15.
Yeah.
I left my house at 4:15. 2 hours, right? You would think would be more than enough time to get to 72nd Street in Manhattan. Because normally when I was commuting into work originally, it took me like 35 minutes to get to work. Like it was not, I mean, granted, we were in the Flatiron District, which is much lower Manhattan, but nonetheless, I was like 2 hours seems like enough. My fiance Michael was already in the city working, so I was going to meet up with him and then we were going to Uber like the rest of the way up. And my next door neighbor drives me to the bus stop and I'm like, great, I'm ready. I'm at the bus. I got all my stuff. I'm dressed, hair, makeup, whatever. The bus does not show up until 5 p.m. And I'm like, fuck. Like, and Michael's texting me and he's like, are you on the bus? And I'm like, the bus hasn't come yet. I am full blown and I am incredibly anxious about a lot of things. Lateness is like my biggest thing. I hate being late. So I get on the bus finally. It shows up at 5 p.m. I get on the bus. I'm texting the photographer. I'm like, listen, we're going to be a little bit late. I'm so sorry. Like, blah, 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 blah. The guy was super chill about it, by the way. Like, he was just like, whatever.
Isn't this also your wedding photographer?
He is my wedding photographer, yeah. So and this is like our first, like we had met him earlier, but this is our first time like taking photos with him. So I'm like, okay. And like I'm texting Michael, I'm like, are you dressed? Are you ready? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm ready. Like, just show up. And I'm like, okay. So I get to him. He works on 27th Street on 5th Avenue. So I was like, okay. So I literally get off the bus at not a stop. Like we were stuck in traffic and I moved up and I was like, can I please get off the bus? And we're on like 22nd Street-ish. We were about to turn onto 23rd. And I was like, I need to get off this bus. And she was like, girl, do your thing. And she was like, by the way, she was so nice. She was like, you look amazing. And I was like, thank you. Can I please get off this bus?
Please let me off.
She was like, yeah. I also like, I brought my heels with me, but I had my Air Force Ones on. Like I had my sneakers on. I book it 5 blocks, like kid you not, full sprint, just weaving between people. I felt like a freaking running back. I was just like,
Everyone's like, what movie is she filming right now?
I have like a bag, like I like wrapped it around my arm and I'm sprinting in my dress. Michael's texting me. He's like, I'm on the corner. I'm like, great, call the Uber. So he calls Uber. I'm literally sprinting. Finally, the Uber shows up. At this point, it's 6:15. Right? Like it is 6:15. I'm in the city and I'm like, we just have to get in the car and go uptown. It should take 15 minutes. It does not take 15 minutes. It takes 45 minutes. I didn't show up to my shoot until 7 o'clock. So we lost 45 minutes of daylight.
Oh.
So, and also like the sun is setting.
Yeah,
I'm watching the sunset. And I'm like,
no, I would have had a legit panic attack.
I kid you not, I told Michael, I was like, I might need to go to the doctor after this because I think I gave myself an ulcer.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I'm literally, and we were dead silent in the Uber. He was like afraid to say anything to me because I was literally head in my hands, elbows on my knees, bent over in the Uber. I'm like, I can't even see what block we're on. We're like, we have to be up in the 60s by now. And I look up and we're in the 40s. And I'm like,
No, I'm the same way. If I'm not 10 minutes early to something, I'm late. Like, and
exactly.
to the point where I get like exactly how you are, like crippling anxiety. Like I can't breathe, I can't move. Like, so
Yes.
I know what you're feeling because my family is late to everything.
Same.
My friends are late to everything. And I should learn by now that, like, because it's always okay. It always ends up okay. But like,
It's fine. Yeah.
yeah, in the moment, I'm like, this is the worst possible thing that could ever be happening to me.
Yes. It literally, again, we get there, the sun is still up, like enough that we can get some photos. And our photographer was like super nice. He was like, I know you're frazzled, but like, let's just jump right into it. Like, and which also like made me happy because I was like, I know day of wedding, he's gonna be like
Yeah.
super chill. He like totally knows what he's doing. And I'm like, that makes me feel so much better. But he does amazing job with the time that we have. We had about a 40-minute shoot, literally until the sunset. Like it got dark in the park, and he was like, "We can't do anything else." And I
Yeah,
was
this
like,
is
"You did everything you could, sir. Thank you so much." And I was also trying not to cry because one, I'm taking
makeup.
photos, two, I have makeup on, and Michael is trying so hard to like make me smile in these pictures, and I'm like, and he's like, "Come on, it's fun, like this and that, and blah blah blah." And eventually I started to like loosen up and it got better, but my God, was I like, I was like, I cannot believe this. I can't believe this is happening. I left my house at 4:15 and I didn't get up to Manhattan until 7 p.m.
Nope,
Like,
that's insane. That sounds like my average commute, which should not have been your commute.
yeah. And the thing was too, so my next door neighbor, she works in the city on 72nd Street, but on the other side of Manhattan. So she was
Okay.
like, I should have just driven you. She was like, it took me like an hour and 15 minutes to get to work. And she says that it doesn't normally take her that amount of time.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I tell you I was like, and my parents are texting me and they're like, how did it go? And I'm like, I
We're not
just
gonna
want
talk
to
about
go
it.
home. We were hungry. We both had a pee. So it was just, and so literally Michael's just like, I just need food. And we ended up going to like a wing place. And I was just like, just give me every piece of chicken that you have in this facility. That's what I need right now.
That's the only thing that's gonna make me feel any better about this. Did you get to see, like, did he show you any of the pictures? Do you think
No,
there's
not really, but he did say, he was like, these are actually coming out like really great. Like, I just
I
need
bet they're
one,
gorgeous.
I need one good picture.
Yeah.
That's it. I
Which
just,
in 40 minutes, you guys definitely you and Michael photograph so nicely together, like, consistently, so I'm not worried for
he is
you
the
guys.
most photogenic man I know.
He is, 'cause I feel like he's just so natural that, like,
Mhm.
the camera, like, it works very, very well.
I'm gonna insert a picture of him, and it's gonna be like the ugliest picture anyone's ever seen. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
that's my father. We also share a birthday.
Yes, Jordan and Michael have the same birthday, which is amazing. But
You
anyway,
know,
so that was my Thursday evening. So, and it took
no,
me all day to get ready.
I understand exactly what you were going through. Completely different scale because it wasn't my I'm not engaged. It wasn't an engagement photo shoot, but on my birthday, me and my friends, now like I said, my friends are consistently late. So we made the reservation for 7:45 and I was like, "Cool, I'll tell everyone it's 7:30." So we get there right around 7:45. That wasn't even enough. I told my friends the reservation was for 7:30. The restaurant's about 20 minutes away.
Okay.
They showed up at my house at 7:28. And like the reservation was for 7:45, but we were still late. We called the restaurant. We were like, we are not going to make it. So I told my friends that the reservation was for 7:30. The reservation was actually 7:45 and we still had to push the reservation back to 8:15. We were
That's just
not getting there.
so 7:45 reservation, you gotta tell them 7.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all you do.
I lived and I learned. And like I said, the restaurant on like I'm like you. That's why I was telling this because like I felt my body shutting down. I was like, "Oh my god, the restaurant's going to ban me from ever coming back because I'm late to my Friday night reservation in Collingswood, New Jersey. Everyone was like, no one cares. Like, even if we probably don't even, it's not like it was like a 5-star restaurant in the city. Like, it's just but like, I don't know. My dad knows the owner. I was like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm having like a full on, you literally see it in my face. I shut down, and all my friend Itzel, I literally say, I want to make enough money one day to where I can hire her to just like pay her such a good salary to just follow me around and be my manager assistant, because she does such a good job of just like keeping me in check. And she looks at me. She was like, I see you shutting down. It's your birthday. She was like, this is not a big deal. Like, everything is going to be fine. She called the restaurant and was like, we're going to be late. Is that okay? What time do we have to get there by? And the guy on the phone goes, oh, I'm so glad. We just had a party and they stayed way longer than we thought. We weren't going to be cleaned up by your reservation anyway. Can you please come at 8:15? And everyone, because at that point I was being like birthday Zilla. Like, I was like,
fair.
I was like, we're going to be so late. Like, you could see the anxiety like radiating off of me. And then everyone just looked at me and was like, see? And I was like, still, we shouldn't be late. Like,
you all got lucky. You all got lucky with that.
So I fully understand the being late anxiety.
Yeah. It's not fun. And talking about birthday Zilla, last year on my birthday, I woke up with a scratchy throat and I just ignored it. And I was like, nope. Also, I just realized that I didn't have my mic on. So I'm glad you could still hear me. Am I like reverberating? I can hear myself.
No, you honestly sound, I had no idea that your mic wasn't hooked up.
Yeah, I literally just looked. I was like, I should check. I did not check if my mic was on, but all right. It sounds fine now.
No, it does.
We're good, right?
Yeah, okay. Honestly sound great.
Yeah, but anyway, last year on my birthday, I went to a karaoke bar in the city and I was like, I don't have a sore throat. No, I don't. And then I broke down on the Staten Island ferry and I just started sobbing and I was like, what if I have COVID? Turns out I did have COVID, but I didn't give it to anybody.
Yeah, well, that's the important thing.
Yes, it was a good time. Good times. But yeah, so that was my story.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got there, and I'm sure you have plenty of pictures that are like beyond perfect, and I cannot wait to see all of them.
Yes, hopefully we got about 3 weeks before they come in. So
okay.
Well, welcome to episode 2 of the Unsolicited podcast.
Long story short, Sam and I both can't be late.
Yeah. We're just catching up too. Like, this is Jordyn and I just talking for the first time since last Tuesday.
No, literally.
For the most part. But yeah, where would you like to start? We have a couple of things planned.
I feel like we should start with draft talk.
I agree. I think it's draft week, baby. Like, let's
freaking draft week.
I love this for us. So go ahead. You take it away.
Well, I just want to say one thing about NFL draft season. I think especially like mock draft believers and like truthers like die on the hill that like their mock draft is like I think it's absolutely, and like I do them, but like I posted one where I was like, here's like my mock like first couple picks, and someone was like, well, this is gonna happen. And I was like, you're absolutely right. It could fucking happen. Like, I'm not set. Like, the mock draft season is just so unbelievable to me because it's literally living in a pure delusion. And it's like, I think this is going to happen. And once this happens, and like, you could be right, but you could be so wrong. And people get so offended if people disagree or like have another take. And it's so funny because once one pick goes out of order, the whole thing, it's not like one can be like the whole thing is done. It's like a March Madness bracket. Like, you're never going to get it perfect. But yeah, no, I just think it's funny because I like love seeing all like the tense, like, no, I'm right. I believe, I know that the Texans are going to pick this guy. And it's like, no, you don't. You literally don't know. Like,
and we are on the same page with mock drafts too. It is literally, I'd rather like pluck all of my eyebrow hair off of my hair than do, a mock draft. I cannot stand it. No. And it takes so much out of me. And then I'm like, okay, how many of these did I actually get right? 10?
Literally the 1 year where me and Sam, what was it? Not last year, the year before.
It was the year before, yeah.
We did like we were like, let's try it.
Mm-mm.
I wanted to die. And I put days worth
Literally,
of
like, I'm, like,
research. And
researching yeah,
yes. And I literally the night of the draft, I was looking at it and I was like, "Oh my God, I just wasted 72 hours of my life and
exactly.
30,000 tears." That on a draft that you could throw out by like the third pick.
Yeah, and, like, I mean, you think about something like what happened last year. How are you going to predict that the Eagles are picking up AJ Brown in the middle of the draft? You don't.
You don't. You
You just
don't.
don't.
And like there's so many just like trades like in the moment. I mean, the Eagles are very we've made trades like right around our pick the last 2 years. So there are teams that are like volatile and like definitely move around and you just don't know what's going to happen on draft day. So I think they're fun. Like I like participating in like mock draft light where I'm like, yeah, like this guy's going to go here and if he does,
Yeah.
but like I'm not like live or die by any mock draft.
No.
I'm all for if I don't die. I'm all for like here are 3 guys that I think this team is going to take for like every team and it's like I don't know. I just think that's a more realistic way of going about it.
Yeah, it's very I'm like, if you like that, cool. Love
Yeah,
that
no,
for
I'm
you.
not hating.
But I literally just don't. I just don't get it.
No.
As a football girly, just don't get it.
No.
It's
Um but yeah, no. So what now that so like we're not going to do a mock draft, but like what are your expectations?
what are my expectations?
But so give me your predictions. Give me your picks.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is the most disconnected I've ever been from the NFL draft, like in my entire life. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, like top 2. And then I think my bold prediction though is that the Cardinals trade down. That's like the thing that I've like been thinking about this whole time is that they're not going to stay at 3, they're going to trade down and then somebody's going to trade up for Anthony Richardson. That's like
Yeah.
my bold prediction.
So I agree. I 100% agree. However, it's not like I've actually the last couple of days I've been doing because I also felt disconnected and I was like, okay, like I don't want to feel this way going
Yeah.
into the draft. So I was like, let me like read a bunch of articles and I was like reading and from what I'm gathering and like anyone who's like a legit like draft expert can tell me otherwise, but the vibes that I'm getting around this draft is like it's very chaotic. And it's like a team could do this, but they could also easily do this, which is like the complete opposite end of the spectrum. And I feel like normally we get a good feel for at least like the first 1 to 3 picks. But like the Panthers, I mean, traded up for number 1 overall. At first, it was like easily Bryce Young. Then it was like 100% CJ Stroud going first. Now it's looking like Bryce Young again. I genuinely think it's going to be Bryce Young. But like if they do pick CJ Stroud, I'm not gonna be like, oh, because they went back and forth. Like there was talk about it. And so I think the fact that we don't even know who like the guaranteed number 1 overall pick is, I think that sets the tone. Cause it's like, all right, if you don't even have like a set number 1, then what the fuck is gonna happen up until 32? And then also I'm seeing a lot that the Texans, 1, are considering trading, 2, are considering not taking a quarterback at all. And if that happens,
Okay.
then I don't even know what to expect. And I've seen like I should have like written down sources so I sounded like I didn't just pull this out of thin air. But you know, I've seen a lot of talk that like Texans are not set on taking a quarterback. And then you have the Cardinals. Like, what if the Cardinals go rogue? I mean, I get they just paid Kyler Murray, but like you never freaking know. Like Panthers take, I don't know. I just feel like this draft could get really chaotic. I'm not going to put conspiracy theories, but I feel like this draft could get super chaotic.
Yeah.
And it just sets up mayhem.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we love about the NFL draft. It's just that's the whole thing is that you don't know what's going to happen. And when things start to happen, you're like trades start happening and everything and like, you know, I full blown said I was like I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to get traded on draft night. Like we were going to be approaching pick 13 and then they were going to be like, "Oh, by the way, Aaron to New York." And we were going to be like, "Ah!" But then they were just like, "Oh no, let's do it on a Monday afternoon."
That was the most random thing ever. I literally was sitting in my mom's house and I got the notification and I was like, right now? I was like, this is happening right now? Like after all this time? I swear Aaron Rodgers was just like, you know what? Today's the day.
Today's the day. Yeah. He woke up in the dark and was like, you know what?
Turn a light on.
did turn a light on and was like, "You know what? It's time." Because honestly, again, if it didn't happen by the draft, there was a very good chance it didn't happen at all,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I mean, they're only, I mean, you know, they don't want to roll with Zach Wilson. And like, if they didn't get this deal done, I mean, granted, they could have gone for Lamar, but I think post draft, this gets really, really complicated. So I'm glad they got it done. I'm glad that I had years and years of prep leading up to Aaron Rodgers getting
Yeah.
traded. Because 3 years ago, if you told me he wasn't going to be a Packer anymore, I wouldn't have made it. 2 years ago, sore subject, would have sent me into a downward spiral. Last year, I was more accepting, but I still wasn't fully ready.
Yep.
And then this year, I was like, it's time. It's
It's
time.
fine. Yeah.
So I feel like, you know what? Maybe he did it for me. He said, you know what? I'm going to tease this for years and years. And then, so by the time it's happening, Jordan's totally okay with it. So,
And you know what? I think you are. I think you're handling it very well.
thank you. No, I didn't cry. I was like, great. Like, let's go. I'm ready. You know, it's weird because I fully accepted the fact that the Packers did not treat him in the way he deserved as a player. Like, he was like blatantly like, okay, I want this to happen to better this team. And they just
Yeah.
completely disregarded him for like years and years. And so I understand. I mean, granted, I mean, he's a character. He's Aaron Rodgers.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think he did so much for them, and they definitely did him dirty. So I'm excited. What are your thoughts? Do you think the Jets have officially become Super Bowl contenders with Aaron Rodgers?
I think that they're definitely up there. I think they make the playoffs. I think they make their way through. I'm interested to see if Aaron's going to be able to, seal the deal. We haven't been able to see him do that the last couple of years, but also different team, different players, different organization. I am very excited, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that with Brees coming back healthy, Garrett Wilson, that defense, I think it's going to be a completely different. And Alan Lazard. He has Alan Lazard on that team. So I'm a familiar face. I wouldn't be surprised if Cobb somehow gets to the Jets. I feel like they would work a way to get a veteran receiver into the mix. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And he changed his number.
Yeah.
You see that? He's 8 now because that
8.
was his college number because Joe Namath's was 12.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to take that number from him. So
Oh. You know, it's going to be interesting. I definitely want an Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey. I
kind
haven't.
of want one too.
Yeah. I don't know if I want black or green or white.
White. I think I might go for a white.
I know.
Fire.
It's going to be interesting. I think the main thing is, I mean, that division is
to see a Rodgers versus Allen 2 times a year is going to be like the highlight of my life, honestly.
I know.
For sure.
And Josh Allen, I mean, he's going to be, this is a prelude to what's coming later in the show. You know what? No, I'm not going to, we're going into a segment later in the show of NFL players and their current Taylor Swift eras.
Yes.
And we'll get into Josh Allen talk then, but going back towards the NFL draft, we are going to be together for the NFL draft. So there's a lot. Now, last year, we've consistently done like live streams together during drafts the past couple of years. This is the first time that we're actually going to experience it together. Last year, Giants drafted very, very well. So well, which was like, I don't want to say rare, but like.
Well, we have a new GM. So it was, an actual competent human being doing things. So
what pick did the Giants have?
They had 5 and 7, and they took Kayvon and then Evan Neal.
No, where are they this year?
25.
Okay. Oh,
because we were good.
What the fuck?
Yeah, baby, we made the playoffs. You beat us to smithereens, but we got there.
And we made the Super Bowl and somehow are still at 10 because Howie is Howie. Do you remember a couple years ago when I was like, I'm going to burn Howie Roseman's house to the ground?
And now you love him?
And now I love him. Now I want to just preserve him.
That's called character development.
It is character development. Me and Howie both grew up. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited for the draft. We're going to be putting out a bunch of content. We're going to have a full planning session. And we're going to get a bunch of great stuff out for you guys. So
Very exciting.
definitely excited about that. Now I want to get into NFL players and their Taylor Swift eras.
I was going to say, I'd love to get into this segment with you. Yes. I am so excited about this.
So this started because last week I had like 1 glass of wine, 3 glasses of wine. And I was like, oh my God, I can't remember what reminded me of it, but I think I was listening to Taylor Swift and I was like, holy fuck. Like, this is Josh Allen right now. Because as you know, if you listen to episode 1, Josh Allen's going through a hasty breakup. One, happy birthday, Britt. Today.
Happy birthday.
Today we're recording. It's her birthday.
HBD. She's 27. We're the same age. Put that. Let's just put that out on the table. Me and Brittany Williams are the same age. That's fun.
Freaking crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Oh yeah. So I made a TikTok of Josh Allen and his current Taylor Swift era. And I texted Sam and I was like, we need to dive deeper into this. And so Sam thought of the idea. We're going to go through each Taylor Swift album and we're going to reveal a player that we think fits that current album.
I'm very excited. So we're going to go in order, right? We'll start with Taylor Swift's
debut. We'll start with debut.
And end with
all right, you go first and we'll go
I go first? Oh no. Okay. Debut. Who do I have for debut? Okay. Starting off strong. Somebody we both love. Debut. I have Justin Herbert. Gives off little fairy vibes, little happiness, little country boy, you know, like chilling. I also wrote like little songs to go along with it for each album. Cute. Just so like I was like, this is where I got the inspiration from. So I was listening to Stay Beautiful and I was like, oh, Justin Herbert would like listen to this in the background of his home and like be petting his cat and playing Catan with like his friends. Like that would be
a brisket on the grill.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's very like innocent and very country-ish and everything. So Justin Herbert is my debut Taylor Swift album.
Okay. We're so different.
Yay! I love that for us.
Are you ready for that? Yeah. For her debut, I have Malik Willis.
Where did that come from?
I have an explanation. So, okay. I mean, granted, it's draft time. I am a hardcore Malik Willis truther. I wanted the Steelers to take him. I was floored when they took Kenny Pickett. I think they did the right thing. Looking back in hindsight, but in the moment, I was distraught. Tennessee Titans take Malik Willis. So I was like, oh my God, he's in Tennessee. It's his country era.
Fair.
And he came out and it wasn't his best. He was young. He was testing the waters and it felt like a place in this world to me because I had this isn't anything. I love Debut. I think Debut is a great album, but you could tell it was her first. Like you see the growth from album to album. So Malik Willis in his country era in Tennessee gets Debut for me because he came out of the gates and my hope is that he just keeps getting better and better.
That's very fair. I love that. I really do. As someone who's actually physically seen Malik Willis play in person when they came in for the Bills game when I was in Buffalo, when they took all their starters out, Malik Willis came out and I was like, hey, Malik Willis! And then
I was like so excited for you.
And then he was just like, oh, and I was like, oh no, Malik.
Yeah, no, that was every time he hit the field this season. I was like, please don't make me look bad. But I still love him. He was a rookie. Yeah. I still have faith. I'm not giving up yet.
I love that. So Justin Herbert and Malik Willis are in their debut eras. Love that for us. I'm excited for Fearless because you told me that I'm going to be very surprised to hear yours. I wonder if you're going to be surprised to hear mine.
No, I'm very curious.
In his Fearless era, just got paid, just got money, getting better, Daniel Jones. And I'm going to say, you belong with me because he should stay in New York forever. And I love him very dearly. And I will forever be a Daniel Jones truther. And I can see him spinning around in a very sparkly dress and living his best life.
No, I love that. No, honestly, that makes a ton of sense.
Right?
Mine is a wide receiver.
Word.
I have Amon-Ra St. Brown in his Fearless era.
Really?
I do, because, going into season number 3,
Yeah.
I mean, he came out rookie season, felt like change. It's like these things will change, kind of came out, just kind of took over.
Okay.
I'm a big Amon-Ra St. Brown fan. And I just feel like Fearless is like kind of like that unhinged, I'm young, I'm doing whatever I want to do
Fair.
era. I mean, Fearless Taylor, like, interview was absolutely terrifying. And I feel like Amon-Ra St. Brown just gives me those vibes. Like, he is fearless right now.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's why you were gonna be like, what?
Yeah. Honestly, we are 0 for 2 with people I thought you were gonna pick for this. So we're like, it's going good. It's going good. Speak Now, which took me a very long time. Speak Now is my favorite Taylor Swift album.
Mhm.
Like forever. I love Speak Now, big Speak Now girly. Took me a while to figure this out, and I was like, I need to give it to someone who like deserves it.
Mhm.
And I was thinking, and I'm thinking, it's my one person who technically isn't in the league anymore, but I know you're gonna give me a pass on it. Tom Brady. Long live Tom Brady. He lived out the last of his career. He did everything that he could. He fought the Dragons with Tampa Bay. He went out
Oh,
there and put it all out on the field for the Patriots, got them all these Super Bowls. He's doing amazing. He is one of the best football players in the universe. Hence, Speak Now is one of the best albums in the universe. Tom Brady is my Speak Now in his Speak Now era. And now he's just going to be like, he's going to get a kitten for his daughter and go to his niece's softball games at UCLA and live his best life. So
no.
that's who I have for Speak Now.
No, that I think is perfect. Another character development, us falling in love with Tom Brady.
Who would have thought?
The second,
Not me.
yeah, no. When he went to Tampa Bay, I was like, what is happening to my insides? I was like rooting for him. And like,
You know what it was? The creamsicle shirt
it was,
at
it
the
was
Super
the
Bowl
creamsicle
parade.
shirt.
And he looked good. He was tan. He was drunk. Creamsicle shirt. That's when it happened for me.
No, that's because that whole year, his first year in Tampa, I was like, no way he's gonna go here. Bring this team to the Super Bowl. And then he did, and he won. And I was like, fuck you. And then I saw the Super Bowl celebration, and that's when I was like, you know what? I can't hate him.
Yeah.
And the next year I was rooting for him. He retired. I got so sad.
For
I was like,
40 days.
yes, for 40 days. I was like, I just started liking you and you're just gonna fucking leave. Then I started rooting for him, and then he came back, and then he wasn't that great, but but he's still Tom and I still love him.
We love Tom.
All right. So I put Justin Herbert in his Speak Now era.
I still love that.
Yeah.
still
No,
love
I thought, and like going off the same vibes that you said for debut, kind of like that princess enchanted vibe. It's a contract year. He's going to come out. He's going to make a statement.
Yeah.
This was the only album that she wrote by herself. Justin Herbert's going to come into the 2023 season, get it done. He's going to get paid. Speak Now, baby. You are fucking enchanted.
Bolt up.
Bolt the fuck up.
That's indeed. We need to put that on a t-shirt.
Literally.
I freaking love Herbie. My God.
Oh,
Okay.
so much.
We're on red. Red. Okay. This is like when it starts to get interesting, right? I have 2 people for red.
Okay.
Mostly because one player I have 2 albums for.
Okay.
I could not decide.
All right.
My first person that's in red, that's like, this is the only album I have for him, is Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Derrick Henry, I feel like he's angry. I feel like he's ready to show up and show out. And like people are kind of, remember when Red came out and everybody was just like, what is this girl doing? Why is she doing pop? Ba 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 ba. Like all this stuff. And everybody was just like, this isn't the same Taylor Swift. And we were like, no, it's not. It's gonna get better. And I feel like Derrick Henry is in that same thing where he's just like, people are putting me down. I didn't have like this like amazing MVP season last year, but you know what? I'm still freaking Derrick Henry and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So that's what I have for red. But my other person, specifically a specific song, is Aaron Rodgers because he's beginning again. And I think that he because red is like, it has an angry side, right? Which is our Derrick Henry side, but it also has this very soft and like rebirth side. And Aaron Rodgers is coming out into the world and he's like, here I am. I'm
I
beginning
love
again.
that.
You
I
know,
love
the
that
Packers
so
didn't
much.
know they never made me laugh, you know, or they didn't think I was funny. But you know what? New York does. New York is gonna
They
be there for
never did.
Did you see the clip of her she sang it like a couple nights ago? And she was like, "He never did." And we were like, "Oh, Taylor."
You know, I'm like really, really, I was a Joe like fan. Like,
100%.
oh my God.
We
And
thought
the
that was
joke
it.
always was, can Joe fight? Because Taylor's so hot and we were all going to fight Joe for Taylor. Now, after hearing her sing that version of Begin Again, I want to know if Joe can fight because I want to beat the
Can't.
shit out of him
There's
for
no way he
whatever he
can.
did to her, for making her sing Cold as You, You're Not Sorry, Begin Again with the he never did. I can't take it. But no, I think those are extremely valid for Red.
Thank you.
Mine, I went a little like to the T just because Red was such a breakup album, and this quarterback, like allegedly going back to this is the allegedly podcast, went
Yes.
through a breakup back in January, had this like quick rebound girlfriend, Dak Prescott.
Oh.
I think he is entering his Red era. There's a lot of questions. He got the contract. We know that. But there's still a lot of questions of if he can take the Cowboys to the next level. Went through a breakup this offseason. Now you have Jalen Hurts in the division, highest paid player in the NFL right now. I mean, Eagles are coming off a Super Bowl appearance. And I just think it's going to be like an angsty season from Dak Prescott. And I don't know what version we're going to get. I don't know if he's going to be angsty, like on it. We're going to see the best of Dak, or if it's going to be that like timid kind of like treacherous kind of vibe. But I think we're going to get one or the other. So Dak Prescott is in his Red era.
Facts. He sure is. I love that. All right. 1989. 1989. Who do I even put down for this? Oh, this one is a little bit specific for me. I put Darren Waller is in his 1989 era because welcome to New York, baby. We're here. We are ready. We are so like he's gonna come out and be like strutting down the field like you got that James D Day dream. Like and I'm gonna be like I'm gonna lose my mind for Darren
What
Waller.
if, oh my God, what if Darren Waller gets a touchdown and does the Harry Styles style dance in the end zone? I would disintegrate. That's like both of my niche personalities just like completely combining.
I would simply this podcast would be over.
Yeah.
Because I'd be 6 feet in the ground.
Yeah, no,
forever.
we'd both be under one tombstone.
Under
And it would say Darren Waller style.
Here lies Sam and Jordyn. Oh man. But yeah, Darren Waller's in his 1989 era. He's about to pop off and pop out and be like, I wish you would, baby. Do it.
I wish you would.
Uh.
No, going back to the Josh Allen talk, I had to put Josh Allen here after my TikTok the other day that sparked all of this. I mean, and obviously it's not New York City, but still, Bills, New York team, that post breakup. I think he's got a lot to prove this season because I mean, like, I know how good he is. You know how good he is. He has a lot of doubters. And
100%.
now the breakup, the long hair, the hair change is all you needed to know. Comes out, I've never been more focused on football. This just screams like that independent, career-driven, energetic, like going out there and doing the damn thing. Like that was her 1989 era, and I think Josh is about to have that kind of season.
Well, I guess this is a good segue into Reputation because I have Josh Allen for his Reputation era. So I think that it's going to transition. Like he's going to start 1989, and then by the time the football season comes, he's going to be like, I did that. I did something bad, and I'm ready for it. You know, like, and he did something terrible.
Yeah,
very bad, Josh. We are not supportive of you in that respect.
No, Josh, like we love you from a football perspective, but from a boyfriend perspective, you like really fucked up. We saw the cake that she posted. Her friend made her this cake for her birthday that said hashtag MHWN. And I sent it to Sam and I was like, what is this? Explain.
So I found it on the internet because I didn't know what it meant either. Every time I looked it up, it gave me some like sunlight thing. If you type that into Google, it gives you some like very like scientific thing. I don't know. Anyway, it means my husband would never. And it's like I guess some sort of movement about women who are cheated on or worse, some who are used or anything. I don't think it's gotten to that point because I think we would have heard if Josh Allen had done something terrible like that, but in terms of cheating and stuff like that, that's where kind of that's the umbrella we're falling
Yeah.
under. So it's very
Um,
interesting.
so yeah, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen
Um,
and his Reputation and 1989 era. Who do
era,
you have
yeah.
for Reputation?
So for Reputation, I have the nobody's heard from me for months. I'm doing better than I ever was. Jalen Hurts.
Period.
Coming off of a Super Bowl loss where, I mean, I'm beyond biased, but Travis Kelce backed me up. Jalen Hurts played in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts could have won MVP even while losing the Super Bowl. We know how good he is. Officially highest paid player in the NFL. He is coming out looking for blood. This is why we can't have nice things. Like, he is out here. And I think we're just getting started. So Jalen Hurts is in his bad bitch snake era.
Yeah, it pains me to say, but I do really like Jalen Hurts. I'd probably be a Jalen Hurts major supporter if he was on literally any other team.
Yeah.
But I do respect him and I respect his game and everything else about him.
And that's why we love you.
Yeah, this, we respect each other out here in this
Yes.
universe. All right, Lover.
I feel like we might have the same one for Lover.
I don't know.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see. I went tight end here.
Okay, we don't have the same one.
I went George Kittle for Lover.
Wait, we went same team. I went Christian McCaffrey.
Amazing. I get it. You know, they're both, think about it, like majorly in love. I know Christian McCaffrey just got engaged.
Mhm.
George Kittle is married to the most unproblematic queen, Claire Kittle. Amazing. They just do whatever they want. He's out here and he's like, I feel like I could picture George Kittle skipping out onto the field to I think he knows or something.
Yes.
And I got my heart beat. Skipping that. And
well,
they're just in love.
I think he knows.
Yes, they're both of them. They're just in love and they're happy and they're good at football and they know they're good at football and they're just living their best lives.
No, really. Yeah. No, the fact that they're on the same team too. No, it makes so much sense for the both of them. Mm-hmm. They're both in they're just in their Lover era, which is so annoying because Lover era is full of confidence and positivity, and the 49ers scare me in the NFC.
Yeah.
So not that I wish for anyone's downfall, but stop being so happy and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So the Eagles can win, but
oh my goodness. All right. Folklore. This is I'll start with the fact that Aaron Rodgers was red. I also have Aaron Rodgers half also folklore.
Aaron Rodgers is my folklore.
Okay. I have Last Great American Dynasty coming out of Aaron Rodgers, but also because it's the very much calm, peaceful.
It's the chill.
Also a wonderful album. It's a no skip album. Aaron Rodgers is that guy. He can be that guy. People will doubt him now, but I mean, come on now. He's Aaron Rodgers no matter what. So I do have him, but I also have Joe Burrow in his folklore era. Because he's out here and he's like, this is me trying. This is me out here doing everything I need to do. And you ever see Joe Burrow talk? He does not yell. He doesn't do anything. He just sits and he's just like, I'm ready to play football, baby. And I know I'm great. I know I'm one of the best out there. You just got to give me a chance and give me a shot. And I know Joe Burrow, he going to pop off this year. I'm telling you right now.
It's like when people have to explain folklore. It's the first time you listen to it, it's a lot of words. You're going to be super confused.
Stunning.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful album. That makes so much sense. But no, folklore, and again, I'm saying this as someone that loves Aaron Rodgers. The man is batshit crazy. He just pulls a lot of shit from random places, and you're how did we get here? That's what Taylor did with this album. She created characters, and I was like, you know what? Aaron Rodgers would literally do that. So that's why he's in his folklore era.
I love that.
I am dying to hear your Evermore. I had such a hard time with this.
I also had a hard time, but the more I thought about it, the more that it made sense. This album, followed Folklore 6 months right after, and I
Mhm.
would say a lot of people don't prefer Evermore, a lot of the times, but they are s he also is like, it's in there, and people are underestimating it, and I feel like it could pop off at any minute. I have Mac Jones. I have Mac Jones in his Evermore era. I have him out here, saying, "I'm gonna tolerate it. I'm gonna come out here and be like, yeah, you give me all these rumors. Bill doesn't like me. Nobody likes me. I'm not good at football, blah, 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 blah." The kid still went to Alabama. He still is an incredible football player, and, like, you can't take that away from him, and I feel like people are gonna throw him under they're just gonna keep pushing him, pushing him, pushing him. I don't know. I don't know. I have this feeling, but that's what I have for Mac Jones, and I don't like Mac Jones at all. I'm just gonna put that out there, I don't like him, but I think that he's in his Evermore era.
No, for a very similar reason, minus the fact that I think he's gonna pop off again. But other than that, logical reasoning, same mindset. Russell Wilson.
Oh! Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, because like you're there, and like Evermore. Whenever people ask me to like say the difference between Folklore and Evermore, I say that Folklore as the album is 10 times better, but Evermore has a couple songs that I could not live without.
Fair.
Um
Champagne Problems.
Champagne Problems. Why am I totally blanking on the name of the song? I'm
Gold
gonna
Gold Rush?
Gold Rush is, I mean, obviously
Coney
because
Island?
Eagles.
Uh,
Um
yeah. Long story short,
no, oh my god, why
favorite,
am I
um
the
oh,
break
oh, 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 'Tis the Season.
'Tis the Season. I was thinking It's Time to Go, and I was like, that's not it. Right where you left me. Like, these are top tier songs
100%.
on an album that isn't my favorite. And Russell Wilson, I mean, he was a top quarterback for such a long time. He's not anymore. I don't think he has it, but like he's still Russell Wilson. Like
True.
like you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think he's in his Evermore era.
That's a good one. I like
Thank
that one a
you.
lot. Alright, we're at Midnights,
Red
and honestly,
Midnight.
we only matched up 1, the Aaron Rodgers and Folklore,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So I did pick someone that you love very, very dearly for Midnights because I think that
I
he is in
also picked someone that I love very, very dearly for Midnights.
I picked DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, I love that. I picked Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I love that too.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, but like
I
they
think
make so much sense.
Lamar and D-Hop, they're very similar in the fact that they're looking for their place. They're fantastic players. Some people are gonna put them down this, that, and blah, blah, blah. But like, anti-hero, vigilante shit on their thing. Like
Midnight
D-Hop,
Rain.
Midnight Rain, like very like and they're both so like calm too,
Yes.
but like they have like that edge to them, which is like exactly Midnight's. So I love that though. I love
Yeah, no, I
Lamar.
think it's not the same guy, obviously, but
Yeah.
I feel like both going through that, we had the same vision with Midnights. And for Lamar Jackson, Midnight Rain, I was just thinking, he wanted a bride. I wanted that pain. Like, I just feel like Lamar was like, I could settle and just stay here, but I know what I'm worth. Like, and D Hop's literally in that same boat. So
Mhm.
I think this was very successful.
I agree. I agree. I think that this is very good.
We want to know all of your NFL players in their current Taylor Swift eras. So comment, share with us everywhere your
100%.
thoughts.
Give it to us. We're
Give
ready
it
for it.
to us. All right, now last little part of today's show.
Yeah.
Me and Sam are also both really big book people.
We sure are.
So we're just gonna have a little book club chat.
Book club chat.
Um,
Love this for us.
No, I know. So I'm a big, and like obviously right now, especially not working, been reading crazy amount. What I'm struggling with is I haven't read a 5-star book in a really I've read very, very good books, but nothing that's like an oh my God, this is a 5-star in a long time.
Okay.
And you have 2 coming up.
Mhm.
in your TBRs, and I'm obviously not gonna say anything, but you have 2 coming up, Mad Honey and
Yep.
One True Loves,
Yes.
that I absolutely loved, and I can't wait for your reactions,
Yeah.
because I wanna see your rating because they could have been 5, they're right there, but for some reason, I couldn't do it. So
Interesting.
I'm eager to see what you think so we can reconvene and vent about it.
Okay.
But what are you currently reading?
I'm currently reading The Body by Stephen King, which I know is based off of one of your favorite movies, Stand By Me. So it's good so far. I'm about halfway through it. I kind of love that it's short. I love that it's like a little bit faster paced because I was reading Fairy Tale by Stephen King, as you know. I'm still on page 100. I've been on page 100 for months. I cannot make it through this book. It is very lengthy. He's a very wordy writer, and I try to get through it. I really do, but it's like very difficult. But I like The Body so far. I think it's
No, and
really good.
that is one that I absolutely have to read because I found out I watched Stand By Me for the first time when I was in like 7th grade, or like my science teacher was like, I'm not teaching today, we're watching Stand By Me. And I sat in class and watched this movie and I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. To this day, one of my favorite movies. I can recite the damn thing.
Wow.
So I definitely have to read The Body because I found out like in high school, they were like, I said like Stephen King's my favorite author, Stand By Me is my favorite movie. They're like, it was based off of, and I was like, shut the front door. I did not know this.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely have to read it. But Stephen King, as much as I love him, there are times where I'm like, you're making this hard. Like,
Yeah.
but then it is always worth it. That's the thing. Like once you get there's always a point in his books where it's like the light switch goes off and then it's like and it's like all of I think he gives so much detail to get you so attached.
Yeah.
So then when he does something dramatic or fucked up, it like literally kills your insides. Which works every time. But he also obviously Stephen King's like known for horror. And like I'm a big I don't want to say horror. But I like a lot of it. Some of it crosses the line for me. But he's the only author that can like give me nightmares.
Yeah, I've tried to read Stephen King books, and actually, when I was in high school, one of my summer reading books was his memoir. So I read his memoir, and it was really good.
Yeah. And as a person, he's a 10 out of 10 person.
Yeah, but I just, I don't know. I can't make it through Fairy Tale. I never finished 11/22/63.
No, you have to give it another chance. You have to.
I'm literally over halfway through it, and I'm like, I don't even remember this was like 2 summers ago.
Start over.
I can't. I have so many other books I have to read. I have those 2 books that you said, and then I have the entire The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy that I'm waiting to read in the summer because I love reading beachy books in the summertime. Yeah. Last year for the summertime, I read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I think I told you to read.
Yeah, which I literally read it in a day. I couldn't put it down.
So good.
I cried like the whole time.
Yeah, it was excellent. It was a really, really good book. I think I just really like Taylor Jenkins Reid books now, which is why I picked up One True Loves, because I was like, I love everything so far that I've read by her. And Jodi Picoult, who wrote Mad Honey, is one of my favorite authors as well, and she's so good.
Mad Honey is going to rock you to your core, and One True Loves was one of the saddest books I've ever read. Not for what happens, just you're torn in so many different directions. So I can't wait to discuss it with you because I want to see if we were on the same page, if we wanted different things.
Which we probably do.
In this one, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because what team were you in Summer I Turned Pretty?
Oh, you know what team I was.
You're Team Conrad, aren't you? Yeah, because I'm Team Jeremiah. I just watched the show. I'm just waiting to read the books. But
I've read the books because I was under the impression that young adult was middle school. And I read The Summer I Turned. There are so many books I have to go back and reread because I definitely read them too young to where I didn't fully understand. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty when I was 12, 13.
Yeah.
And so I need to go back and reread.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably would have appreciate it more.
100%.
That's why
100%.
also, I mean, I'm a big rereader. I reread Harry Potter, like, all the time, and it's,
Yeah.
like, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan for people that don't know. I am, like, obsessed with Harry Potter. I'm very angry about the show, the
Yeah.
HBO show. Incredibly angry. I'm not old enough to be having a Harry Potter rerun.
No, there's no point.
There's no
There's
point.
literally no point.
Give it another 15 years,
Yeah.
okay? And then come out with the TV show. I'm very angry about it, but
They're like messing with something that's already too perfect.
right.
Like way too early.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I reread Harry Potter. I read it, like, when I was younger, and then I reread it during COVID, and I was like, "Wow, I love these books." I know they're children's books, but, like, when you read them as an adult, it's, like, a completely different story.
100%. 100%. You
Love
know,
it.
I'm a big frick. Should I reread Harry Potter this summer?
Yes, you
No.
should.
It's been a while.
I love rereading Harry Potter. Did I ever tell you what my favorite book of all time is?
No.
It's a book called The Westing Game. Have you ever
Okay.
heard of it?
No.
It is one of the best books I've ever read, and I've read it about 10 times. And it is like a mystery, and every single time I wait long enough for me to forget things so that when I read it again, I'm like, "Oh, I don't remember what happens here." Highly, highly, if you wanna read a five-star book.
Okay.
If you wanna read
Okay.
a five-star book. It is so good. It is a mystery. It's about, like, somebody who died, and then they bring in all these people, and they're like, he's, like, a really rich guy, and they're like, "You're all in his will," but none of them know each other, and then they have to, like but they
Oh,
have
this
to
sounds sick.
they play his name was Sam Westing, and they play the Westing game. So in order to get the money, you have to play his game, but none of them know each other, and then they're broken up into teams and stuff. Very good.
No, that sounds right up my alley.
I
What am
read
I?
it in the 5th grade, so it's a fast read.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I'll do it like on the beach one day. No, I just read The Last Thing He Told Me because the series came out on Apple. I flew through that book. Only gave it a 3-star. I liked the premise.
Okay.
Like I liked the story, but the way it was written really triggered me. Like there was a lot of inconsistencies.
Mm,
She would like start a lot of points that were like, oh my God, but then
yeah.
like didn't wrap them up. So it was a good book. If you just want something that's like entertaining and quick, like flew through it, it's good. But one of the few instances, I'm liking the TV show more than the book.
Okay.
Like I think it was one of those things that was written for TV, which is fine every once in a while. Very rare that I have that opinion, but for this, and it was a very popular book, but I didn't love it. And as you know, one of my favorite books that I read last year is going to be one of my favorite books of all time, Where the Crawdads Sing. I'm reading a book right now called The Girls in the Stilt House. Gives such strong like literally they live in a marsh, they're poor, there's a murder, there's family traumas. It's so 1920s in the South. So good. I'm like, I think 120 pages in, but it's phenomenal.
I loved Where the Crawdads Sing. I actually just watched the movie like a couple weeks ago. I never got around to watching it. I thought they did a good job with the movie, but the book was definitely better.
Yes, they did a very good job with the movie. It's so hard because the book had so much, and that's the problem. The reason people don't like the book is because they were like, it dragged on, there was too much detail. That's what I loved about the book. Like I could sit and listen or like read about like the marsh and the scenery and like I just thought it was so beautiful and I was like obsessed with it. The movie, they did, I think, as good of a job as they could without making it like a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did a good job. I think they hit all the points. They didn't change anything. I loved it, and I loved the book. The book was excellent.
Yeah.
Then I made my mom read it, and then then she read it, and then that's when we watched the movie because I was like, this movie's on Netflix. We should watch it.
All right. Well, a lot of book talk, a lot of NFL draft talk. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to read this weekend with all the football stuff going on, but I'll give an update next week.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our second episode of the Unsolicited podcast, talking about everything that nobody asked for. We have a lot of different social handles going on, so make sure to check us out everywhere. We are on TikTok at unsolicited_podcast. We are on Instagram at the unsolicited_podcast. We are working on trying to get those the same. So just keep that in mind that eventually we want them to be identical. Twitter, you can find us at Sam and Jordyn. Podcast, if you're watching, it's going to be up on our YouTube channel. And audio, we are going to be available on Google Play, Apple, and Spotify. And what was the other one? We got randomly approved for the
Bullhorn.
Bullhorn. If you stream your audio podcast on Bullhorn, we are also available there. Don't know how, but yeah. And we will see you guys. We'll be all over socials this weekend for the NFL draft, and we will be back next week for episode 3. Thanks, guys.